Hello, class, and welcome to NUR 324Z, Healthcare Ethics Policy and Regulation. I decided that instead of holding a blue meeting or a blue conference meeting, it's always very hard for everyone to get together at the same time. I would do a course orientation. You can watch this video, and then if you do have any questions, please either email me, call me, or put questions in the questions to instructor. If you do feel the need to have a meeting, we can always do that. But I thought this would hopefully meet your needs and everybody would get the same information in a consistent basis. So this class is basically about ethics policy in healthcare. And I will go through the class and go through the assignments so you do have an idea of what to expect. As you are aware, this is my name, my cell phone number, and my contact information. Please feel free to call me. I am in Central Standard Time, so I am 1 hour ahead of you. And just be aware that when you're making calls, if it's later in the day. The prerequisites for this class are listed, and I am basically not going to go through everything in detail in the syllabus, but give you an overview. So upon completion of this course, you will understand healthcare policy. We do talk about moral, ethical, and legal implications throughout the course. You have 3 fairly big assignments looking at these processes and how this takes place in nursing. When it comes to especially ethical and moral implications, there really isn't an answer. It's comes into assessing where you are at, your own thoughts, and society. So it's not really a law. It's based on ethical concepts, and that should become more evident throughout the course. Your required books are your APA manual and Ethics and Issues in Contemporary Nursing by Burkett and Nathaniel. I am not going to go through the basic information that is found in every course, your help, your IT support, your general course policies. I think everyone's well aware of these at this point in your nursing education. The grading policy pretty much is the same. You need a 77% to pass this course. These are the assignments. You will have a 2 discussion questions every week, and you are expected to participate in the discussion board by Wednesday. You need to have a citation and a reference within your post, and you do need to answer 2 other posts, either a post to a classmate or to me, and using Netiquette, and that needs to be done by Sunday. You do have a quiz this week, so please be aware that it is due at the end of the week. It is for 50 points. And then you do have 3 assignments in this class, 2 papers, which I will go through, and a debate, which is in the 7th week. And I will go through that so you have an idea of what to expect. And here is your discussion rubric, which you all are familiar with. We'll go through that rather quickly. And then these are the concepts that are going to be covered over the next 7 weeks. So you have an overview of nursing ethics, value and ethical decision-making, legal and ethical nursing practice, relationships, patient rights, which include advanced directives, informed consent, and economics on healthcare, healthcare policy, and then the final week, which is basically a synthesis of the course. So week 1, you have the discussion and the quiz. And then in week 2, you do have your first assignment. And I will go through that with you. This is an assignment which is based on an ethical decision-making model. And what you are required to do in this situation is describe an ethical dilemma that you have experienced in your clinical clinicals within the program. However, sometimes that's not always easy. So if you have experienced it in a work situation, which is healthcare related, I would allow that. Or if you've experienced, you personally haven't been involved, but you've observed it, you may also use that as a framework. So this is based on the ethical decision making model, and we'll go through this. So you are to talk about an ethical dilemma that you experienced, as I said, in a clinical setting, or again, if it's something you've observed, or if it's in a healthcare setting where you weren't a student, but you possibly work in that situation. Any of those three would work. And what you're going to do is, again, follow your rubric. I always say if you follow your rubric, um, and have each area, then you're usually will get all your points. At this point in your nursing education, you should be using APA headings. And I think it's always a good idea to, have an introduction to your paper and then list these as your headings. And that way, you've covered each one, and that you have the areas for the points. The rubric listed below will give you more breakdown of how that is graded. So the first thing you're going to do is identify or discuss the dilemma that you're going to talk about, and what do you want? How do you want this to be resolved, or what is the goal? I always say when it comes to ethical dilemma is think of it as the nursing process. What you're doing is you're assessing all the areas, gathering the facts, and then you're using the nursing process to identify the nursing diagnosis or what is the concern. You come up with a plan and you come up with goals. And that basically is what you're doing in this situation here. So you're gathering all the information, not just from you, but also from everyone involved. And that could be, if it's related to a patient, um, the healthcare system itself, any of all the factors. That's your assessment data. Then you're also bringing in some theories and principles that are going to impact these this decision-making process. Who's involved, the stakeholders or the people involved, and what are their roles? What if you are able to also list what did you assess about their own value system, roles, beliefs, that type of thing. Um, then, if you can describe the strategies that you did take or you would take in this situation, what would you do to make a difference? And how would you evaluate if you did meet your goal or your action? What were some measurable outcomes that you wrote for yourself? Did you meet them or did you not meet them? Just because you did not meet an outcome does not mean it's negative. It means you just need to go back and assess it and come up with different ideas. And then you describe your feelings when this is taking place. Many times in these situations, you do have to evaluate your own feelings because you do have thoughts about the process. I did or did not agree with this. Um, and this, how did you handle that, your feelings? Um, what did what kind of feelings were you thinking or feeling at the time? And again, how did you handle it? And what did this help you as a person in your nursing practice? What did you learn from it? Would you do something different? Would you keep it the same? That type of thing. It's evaluation. Again, 3 to 5 pages in length, not including your title or reference page, with 2 current scholarly resources using APA format. And that assignment is worth 200 points. I'm going to go back to the modules now because you do have another assignment in Module 5. And Module 5 is another paper. This one is a little bit different. This one is based on a case study where you'll be reading the case study and then making decisions, making some assessments about that case study. So here is the case study, which is listed here. And then here is your rubric. I'm not going to go through each one of these rubrics, but it's always a good idea, I think, to print them out or at least to download them and have them on your computer so you know if you're missing, if you have all the key elements. Again, you're going through the case study. You're going to describe if the informed consent was executed, how it was executed in this case, 2 factors that Ms. Y failed to consider, factors that influenced, actions, cues, and your conclusion. Again, 3 to 5 pages in length and APA format and that. So that is basically a paper based on this case scenario that you'll be going through, analyzing, and writing a paper about that. And then your final big project, I would say, for this class is a debate, which is going to be held online on the discussion threads, and that is in Module 7. So it does look like a discussion thread. That's what it basically looks like. And in this debate, here's the debate that you will read. And then you're going to be divided into 2 groups. I did already divide you into 2 groups. I basically took everybody's name and went opposite, if that makes sense to you, and put you in 2 groups. So one group will be opposed to the policy. The other one will be in favor of the policy. This debate will take place on this discussion forum. Your first part of that debate is you'll present your opening arguments by Wednesday. Should be no less than 200 words. You have to include 2 scholarly references. I would suggest that this is a good place to at least put 1, maybe 2. Then by Friday, you're going to look at your the opposing argument and formulate a response to that, and that would be a little bit less, 150 words. And then by Sunday, you're going to go back, summarize your thoughts and feelings, and put another response. So basically, you should have a minimum of 3 responses that are going to also include references and netiquette and rules of grammar and APA format. So that is basically the requirements for this class, besides your discussions and these 3 big assignments that are due. If you do have any questions about the work that is involved in this class, again, please let me know. Please let me know if you think you need to have an online meeting. I will be very happy to schedule it. Otherwise, I will see you in the class in the discussion threads. I'm glad to meet you again in the Eagle Gate Cafe. I did try a different format because we've met each other before, and that format is called Let's Go to the Movies. If you've already posted, that's fine. You don't need to add another post. If you want to join in and add an additional post to your welcome message, please go ahead. If you're not comfortable with that, then just introduce yourself. But I just thought it might be fun and a little different.